Are you ready? Can't crush us. It don't really get no better than this. The podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers, let's go.
Hey guys, it's Zaya Wolf here, and I'm with Can Crushers. Keep listening in for the best podcast.
Hello! Welcome to another Can Crushers Wrestling podcast. You don't know what happened, but get ready because Sir Michael Jenks is going to tell you. I'm Mark the Mark. This is going to probably be short and sweet because, good Lord, Jenks, take over.
Well, we were having a lovely pre-podcast conversation like we normally do. Things are going great. All of a sudden, the house goes black. The lights are off. I lose internet. So right now, I'm working off the phone to record the podcast because Mark the Mark, I can't leave you hanging. I don't know how long this is going to be down for. This could be down all night for all I know. So I'm called in. I said, you know what? We got to do the podcast somehow. I called in. We're at 35% battery on the phone. We're going for it here.
Thank God it's a week of wrestling that didn't, right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It didn't. There wasn't a lot going on from a wrestling standpoint, but
your life right now, listen, we'll get to mine in a hot second. Your life right now has become outages, shutdowns, and just
I can't
living on that couch.
I can't make this shit up. It doesn't some way, somehow an outage finds me. I don't know what's going on. We might need to just name this episode The Outage That Was or something like that, or Outages Follow.
Outages Follow is absolutely perfect. Let me write that down. Because, good Lord, Jenks has been playing video games and going to school all week.
It's been my week. It's kind of been my last couple weeks, just with everything going down at the old employer and that, things go down and you just kind of have to be creative with how you go forward. So I'm going to give my, if those of you who might not know what this is, but it's a Scrum Master certification. Basically, I'm learning about being a PM, project manager and all that. Hey, there's different project management styles. This is lines to the agile one, basically. So I'm like, all right, well, I work in the governance field with it, so might as well just do it. So, but yeah, so outages galore. What a month of June for me.
Right? Turn the page on outages is what it is.
There it is. I love it. Turning the page on outages. Yeah.
Because we're both sick of them. Pages have been turned. It's we're doing this fast and sweet because Jenks only got 35% on his phone, and good Lord, he might need it for later on.
I will keep you updated on what it is. Luckily, Kimberly is home, so if we need her phone, we may be able to use it. Or I'm going to the truck and just plugging in at some point.
I was going to say somebody's going to be sitting in the truck or the car later on today charging.
Exactly. I think my phone's going to make it to the truck tonight just to charge.
Did you cook supper yet? Is that available?
Supper's been cooked. I cooked it for the lovely wife, Kimberly, so that she had when she came home. A very succulent pork tenderloin, as the text message just came across that said that. Her great review. So succulent pork tenderloin from the Aldi with some green beans was well received tonight for sure.
Nice. So, good for you. Yeah. Well, with all the time you have, you should be making
I should be slaving over a hot stove is what I should be doing. she's the hardworking professional now in the relationship. I'm just the homebody. So I'm Betty Crocker. You can call me Betty Crocker if you'd like. But
Well, it doesn't she bake? I was thinking you're Rachel Ray.
well, yeah, I guess you could
child?
say that. I was going off of like Betty Crocker. I think has Hamburger Helper, right?
Oh,
Is that
yeah,
Betty Crocker? Yeah. But yeah, Rachel Ray works for me.
I digress.
How was your week?
We didn't have anything really planned for this podcast, so now we do.
We're pivoting left and right.
We have to. My week was a page turner within itself as well. It a lot of opportunities, a lot of things like shit has ended, some projects have ended, some massive things in life have ended. And then, a mile down the road, you get smacked in the face by a random text and you're like, oh, okay, this is where it's going. It's like you're getting T-boned somewhere in the middle of things,
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes it just comes and hits you broadside and you move on.
I had a nice cry this weekend with Mom this past weekend. So that was nice. And I truly mean that. It really was nice. I always go see Mom. Jenks knows this. I always go see Mom. But this was kind of it's already second beer, by the way, because I was waiting for Jenks.
The second beer is already down over here.
I have one left, Jenks. I don't know if you looked for it. I had my second Sorry I'm Latte because I've told everybody about it. Yeah, the next one's going to get put in a safe for you.
Well, I appreciate that.
I went to the Cherry Cola one now.
Nice. I'm going back to Citramax. When we get done with your week, I'll tell you what I just bought. I'll try to save you.
Well, I'll tell you what I just bought that's downloading too. That's going to take over my weekend. Just essentially turning the page. New opportunities, work and elsewhere are on the horizon, which are really cool. I don't want to talk about work ones. Jenks, you're not Jenks like you, but it might jinx it. Essentially, right. So I'm going to hold off on that. Otherwise, it's just things, and people say I have a glow and stuff has changed. So I'm listening to them. I'm going to allow people to get in my head and tell me this, that, or what other. And oh, by the way, I'm starting using my pool hours, Jenks. I worked about 2 hours today, stood around for 2 and said I'm going home. They're like, oh, it's going to be these type of Fridays from now on. I'm like, yes, it is.
Welcome to summer. It's that time.
Welcome to summer when you have a ton of hours and you're really not touching your vacation time yet. You're just using all the pool hours that you have, the comp time.
Yep.
Catch up.
Nothing wrong with that. I will agree with those that say you have a glow. You're certainly a lot happier and a lot better place, I think. So you're here to that.
Cheers, motherfucker.
Cheers,
I love you.
Cheers. Love you too.
I guess we should drink then.
Mm-hmm.
But what is downloading, Jenks? Once I did get home from lunch as well, I started laundry already. I have a system, laundry Saturday
get
morning.
laundry done. Yep.
I got laundry done already, folded, put away even.
Why?
Well, because there's a new Hunter Call of the Wild DLC out, and it's in Canada. There's beavers, there's moose, there's elk, there's deers, there's a plethora of different animals, a ton of birds. Again, that I can't hit a bird when it's flying, so I wait till they're grounded, and then you don't get as many points. My number one thing is to find the beaver right now. I need to find the...
Got to find that elusive beaver, huh?
That's definitely... I'm as red as my can right now. I don't know if you have to shoot the beaver dams to get them out or whatever, but I have to say it. I'm going beaver hunting all day tomorrow. I hate you. You knew about this and you set me up.
Outages and beavers. Beaver hunting. I don't know.
We're really changing the title all the time. You wait and see what it's called. That's what it's.
Yep. See, Bailey's telling us stop changing the title. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's just where we're at right now.
So it was a good week. Go ahead and tell me what you ordered. It's a life-changing week. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I didn't order anything. This was strictly I bought more beer. So I found my lemon shandy that I've been waiting for Market Garden. That is currently in the fridge, cooling. A lot of the beer is cooling right now. So this week, finish what I have. Then I can try the other stuff.
Beers.
Next week's beer. There was I can't remember what it's called or where it's from. We'll get it next week. But it's a hazy IPA. It was on sale. It's Witch something. Looked brand new brewery. I've never tried them. I'm hoping for the best with it. And then there's one other beer that I purchased. Obviously, I can't remember it right now off the top of my head, but I did buy 3 different beers. The lemon shandy is what I've been waiting for. If you guys have listened to what I've talked about with the lemon shandy, this thing is the greatest beer, summer beer ever. Or I'm going to try to save you one just so you can try it.
So we can switch up beers. Yeah.
Switch up beers. I think you'd really enjoy that one.
Nice.
So
remember last week when we said that Can Crushers is going to be announced? Well, me and Jenks have not talked about it, but I essentially know where this is going because you know where it's going. Next week we have a pay-per-view to do predictions. Mm-hmm. The following week we have, that's going to be the 4th of July, you know, one essentially. So probably like the end of July, honest engine, because the 4th of July one, a lot's going to go on. We'll see if we squeeze a podcast in, essentially that. It might be a pre-recorded one. Then we have All Out on the 12th. We have to recap that on the 19th, which is going to be crazy as shit. So I'm thinking July 26th makes the perfect sense. And Jenks would be right now telling me, hey, there's a WWF pay-per-view, WWE pay-per-view. But Jenks has no fucking computer in front of him. He can't do anything on his phone right now.
I will say I don't think there's a pay-per-view that weekend, so I think we're clear.
Yeah.
Clear presentation of any danger. Yeah, I have nothing on.
Hey, Kimberly, can I use your phone for the podcast?
Hold on, let me log into my email.
I'm research and development over here, and I only have my phone right now.
Well, you know, hey, things happen. You know, that's just the way it goes.
They do.
Yeah.
So it's tentative July 26th, but it doesn't mean just get your questions in. You roughly 100%. Have a month. Get your questions in. We'll save them in the old hopper, and then we'll do Ask Can Crushers then, because it really only makes it there. There's not a lot happening, but just the way everything breaks down. Pay-per-view next week, recap it the following week. We wouldn't fit it in. 4th of July, then yada yada yada. You know, we'll all in, all out. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We've been promising you an Ask Can Crusher since January, and then shit went awry. But listen, look at the bright future ahead of us is all that really matters.
100%. There's no outages in the future. It's strictly brightness, sunshine, and rainbows.
Right. Vegas I might have to podcast from Vegas one weekend.
Oh, is it WrestleMania weekend?
No. None of that. I forgot to tell you that was supposed to be an off-air conversation, but we'll talk.
We've talked a little bit about it before. I know what you're talking about, but yeah. But so
it's essentially booked though now.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's fair enough. That's different.
Yeah, it's different.
That was a different update.
It's different. I'm going to go to the Bunny Ranch, and maybe some of those people will be on the old podcast with us talking about wrestling and not WWE and AEW style wrestling at that point.
Well, those are going to be some hell of a spotlight episodes.
Oh, literally. So as you can tell, folks, this is going to be a one shoot, no commercials, because we can't. We can't do this with the shit we have going on.
Yeah.
So this whole podcast, essentially has changed to let's throw shit against the wall and talk about it again. Which we like.
Welcome all. You welcome all. This is strictly on whatever's going on with the power situation in my neck of the woods. But
now, as you look out your window like a creeper at all your neighbors' houses and everything, are they black too?
The one I can see is all black. So yeah, I think one of my elderly neighbors behind me is out. So
should you leave and go check on her?
I think she's okay for right now.
Yeah, you have fear in hand, so you can't really.
Yeah, I can't really go right now. But no, I think she's okay for right now. Since it just happened, I feel like nothing's warm. It's not been too long. So I don't think anybody's getting overheated right now. If this was, tomorrow, or for you guys listening today, or Sunday or Monday,
or yesterday.
That's when or yesterday, whatever. But the heat would be hitting. The heat is coming right now and hitting our neck of the woods and that. Good. We're on an estimated time outage of 10 p.m. tonight. So thanks for that.
We didn't wait until then.
Thanks for that, electric company. But so I think I believe she's fine right now. Tomorrow, Saturday, when you guys are listening to this and into the early part of next week, it's supposed to get really hot. So I think I'd be more concerned about it at that point. But right now, just hoping for the best.
For all the people that live in like Biloxi and, down in the Carolinas and out in Vegas and, Des Moines, Iowa and all those places, it has been fat guy weather here.
Yeah.
Which, 50s to 60s, but it's also been rain a lot. It is going from that to 95. There's no creeping up. It's like, boom.
No,
you go from
automatic.
Nice spring weather to be prepared to die. We aren't used to that process. We're already looking at it at work saying everything should take a little bit longer next week because we're going to be growly. We're going to be miserable. We're not getting to wean into it. It's going from, which is normally March or April, right into August weather for us.
Yeah.
And we don't know how to deal with that.
Well, I don't think it's just you. I don't think anybody knows how to deal with that.
Well, I know
you guys are getting impacted more than anybody because you're going to be out. You have to work in this. There's just no in between on that. It's kind of a weird feeling to have it go from 60, 70 to straight 90s. That doesn't happen normally at all. Usually it's that casual or gradual kind of, 70s, low 80s, mid 80s, 90s. Now we're going 0 to 60 basically. I think it's going to send a lot of people in shock, and it can be really bad. So you have to, for you guys at least, don't live off of energy drinks, caffeine, and water and Gatorade at this point. Water, some sort of electrolyte. Hope for the best.
Pedialyte. I really like Pedialyte. I really do. I know it's marketed more for kiddos, but it tastes better than Gatorade. It really does.
It's coming around for adults, more for hangovers, but I mean, same concept. Really.
Shot.
Maybe
I should have those. Maybe I should have a case of Pedialyte in my house on Sunday morning.
Well, the way your Saturday nights are going, that's probably a smart idea.
Really is. Really is. I never knew I liked Fireball as much as I did.
Last time I had Fireball, oh my God, I had a plate of peanuts in front of me and I looked like I was about to die. So,
or I have muscles for some reason all of a sudden. That Vince McMahon walk is out a little bit more.
He's got the power strut.
This is a wrestling podcast, and we're throwing shit against the wall all day, and you get to go first since you don't have any power. It's getting, as I'm looking at Jenks, as we're
getting dark.
It's getting darker each
I'm trying to get into this window a little bit more, so it looks like we're good.
Good thing we're not on YouTube with video.
I know, right?
Listen, we're not paying the bills. We're not doing anything like that this week. We're just talking wrestling. Screw it. You know where everything is. Go listen to last week or the last 610 episodes. You'll know where we are at.
Exactly. And look at the show notes. I'm sure it's going to be in there too.
Oh, I'm sure it
is. My first thing for wrestling, off top of my head, hey, kudos to the Cowboy. Yeah, I don't have anything. Kudos to the Cowboy. He was speaking Spanish the whole time for his promo. Excalibur trying to do his best to translate, but hey, Cowboy Adam Page, I appreciate it. That was cool.
I completely appreciate that, and I thought it was going to be, do the first like 5 or 6 sentences and then switch it over, and he's going to go English again. He did the whole thing, and then peace the fuck out. Essentially, is what he said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that was awesome. If that was like number one as well for me. I'm like, to allow Hangman to do that. I'm sure he had to run it by Tony.
Yeah.
That made Wednesday night so special for me on Thursday when I watched it. But it made it so special. I'm like, they really mean it. They really mean it.
It set the tone for the show that they were dedicated to being in Mexico, being immersed in the CMLL, in Arena Mexico, doing all of this. It really, I think it did a lot more than people think it did. And I applaud them for that. Kudos for it.
I'm still going to bitch about Dynamite here in about 30 seconds.
Well, of course.
But we're gonna piggyback this with my question for you then, Jenks. Which Mexico show recently did more? Was it Worlds Collide or was it Grand Slam Mexico?
Did more how?
Fans.
So I could say Worlds Collide because it was at the Kia Forum in America.
I don't mean
but
Ricky Morton people and asses. I think more of pomp and circumstances, chatter
more around it. Yeah. I think when I look at it, I think the Mexico show that AEW put on probably did a little bit more for it in the sense of WWE was just trying to showcase Triple wrestlers. Triple A wrestlers. This is what happens when I don't have things in front of me. Triple A wrestlers. They were just trying to showcase who they had purchased. And when you look at AEW, I think they showcase wrestlers from CMLL more because it's not a company they're purchasing. It's not a company that they're bringing into the fold. It's a company that they are working with. So they were able to kind of highlight the talent a little bit more, in my opinion, and give them a little bit more power. Like, when I look at everybody and I hear the chatter online from AAA, it's all around.
You were looking at a different website a minute ago.
It's all about, this isn't going to help my cause. It was all about Mr. Iguana and, around that point, right? So Mr. Iguana is the big star that came out of that Worlds Collide pay-per-view, not El Hijo de Vikingo. It wasn't him.
Right.
I couldn't tell you who was in between that and Mr. Iguana. That's who people are talking about. So they're talking about the entertainment style. AEW brings forth the wrestling style, highlights that, and I think that helps out a lot more.
I was going to make this its own thing, but I think since we're sticking with CMLL, we might bring it back around for AEW if we want to talk about them in topics. But, oh my God, Mystico. I didn't know. Like, he was bigger than Seth Rollins's WrestleMania with the Mumford and Sons people. You know who I mean? I don't remember what they're called. Those people that came out and I said I was going to join them in Philadelphia. And
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Those guys. Like, the crowd was not going to allow that match to happen until they were done singing Mystico's theme song. Like, man, as this is real life, people. My real name is Mark Martinez. I had no idea what they were saying because I know Cerveza, Biblioteca, a lot of swear words, and Feliz Navidad in Spanish. I was so pumped. And you know how I do like sing along songs as long as it's not like, Seth Rollins, essentially. I love Cody's. I love Randy's. Man, I want to know what his fucking song was. I was going to sing along with Mystico. I was so pumped that he was on the show because of the fans.
It's a whole different monster down in Mexico. It's the aura of it all, right? With Mystico, I had no idea, but everybody was up, moving, jamming, and I'm like, to your point, this is really fucking cool, and I really want to be a part of this, but I can't be a part of this because I have no idea what the hell they're singing or what's happening. But I think that also shows how far he's come from Sin Cara days in WWE as well. He is respected in Mexico for what he has done for the name and everything. And for me, I took it as more of, man, this is a really cool song. But I took it as, man, you've come a long way and you've grown into what this character is and have really taken a country of wrestling, really indoctrinated wrestling country by storm. So kudos to Mystico.
I felt left out. I really
did too.
I did too. Damn it, I really wanted to be a part of this.
It would have been fun to be a part of it, but
good for them for having their cake and eating it right in front of us.
Too.
We always do.
100%.
My number one, clearly because I always go this way, just because. Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Real or shoot?
Yeah. It's definitely real
or storyline.
Yeah, it's definitely real. 6 months is the latest estimate I heard yesterday.
That's Evolution.
She's out of Evolution. Whatever angle they were shooting with Nikki Bella, gone. Really, we say 6 months here. It's probably like 7 or 8, whatever that gets to us to the Rumble, because she won't come back at the beginning of the year.
Oh yeah, she's not coming to John Cena's going home party. No return is going to happen at that going home party.
When she comes back, it'll be Royal Rumble, Women's Rumble, number 30, or whatever it is.
So that means tag titles are leaving.
Yeah, and
welcome back to the tag titles issue.
Well, let's talk back. Well, let's go right to it. Are the tag titles cursed? Because this is yet another injury on the women's tag team championships, and it just doesn't seem like it can catch a break. We finally had a team that was put together, but it was well established before Raquel's injury, and then she came back, and they got back together, and they've really been a tight ship going forward. Now it's broken apart again.
Yeah.
Do they just pull the plug on these titles? I hate to say that.
In my heart, I hope no.
Yeah.
But maybe for a little bit. Maybe. And then drop them. We're going to vacate them for maybe. Name another women's tag team out there right now. We'll go back to that story.
Yeah.
Name another women's tag team out there right now that is anywhere close to sniffing these.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a 4-women's tag title tournament of, oh shit, we probably shouldn't have released Chance and Katana last week because that would have been at least a normal team that could have held them for a couple of months. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire.
Yeah.
Dawn's gone. So we're going to throw shit together to have Nat and Cindy Smith hold it for a little bit to build up a team to steal these titles. I would be all right. And I hate this because of the fight. Listen, there's been tag titles before Sasha and Bailey held them. I go back to the Jumping Bomb Angels. I go back even farther. But, like, that's my era, Jumping Bomb Angels and Leilani Kai and Martin.
Yep.
Hold those. Whatever WWE wants to tell you now. But then Sasha and Bailey really fought to brought them back. And they did. There's issues, and there's more issues, and there's more. They're clearly an issue right now. They're cursed. I completely believe it. Maybe we throw them on a shelf for 6 months to a year because.
Yeah.
And let Liv be the number one tag team champion of all time. When she comes back, get it for the 5th time. When she comes back, there's like this. What's this do for Dom now?
Does it, going off of that, for Dom's sake, does it do anything? I mean, is this where we have the catalyst where maybe he and Roxanne are starting to go down a path together? But then again, you're going down the path that we went down with Liv of Rhea gets injured. Okay, here we go. We're going to switch gears, pick up Liv. Okay, you guys are playing this will they, won't they game until Rhea comes back. SummerSlam, they turn. It's now the same thing with Roxanne, right? Do you rehash your story to just because you have to?
Or is Dom cursed?
Maybe Dom is a player, so that could be really what is happening here. He's that cursed that he's just too much of a player.
I hope they don't go down the same path that you were mentioning before I interrupted you. I hope they don't.
I hope not. I hope not either.
I am just in wrestling. This was a normal spot. This was the way the match starts spot. It's just so weird that maybe Liv is burning the candle at both ends. You know, she does a lot of promos. She does a lot of, marketing for the company. Maybe she's just worn out. Injury prone a little bit, though, too, because this is maybe not like number 5 for her. Does this push her back in the pecking order from now on?
Does this push her into that realm? Because it's been a couple years since she actually got injured. So she's been going hard the past couple years. So for me, I'm going to do this in NFL terms because this is the best way I can acknowledge it. When we talked about Matt Stafford in his beginning of his career, and for those of you who don't know, he's the Lions quarterback, kept getting injured. Every season he would get injured for like 5 years. The one was a significant shoulder injury, whatever. After a certain point he was fine. It was like clockwork. Like he hit the age of 28, 29, 30, whatever it was, and then he never got injured again. He didn't get injured. He could consistently play after that.
Knock on wood, Stafford.
Knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't happen this year.
You and Saquon, we're calling it out.
Side note, I'll end up with him and he'll get injured because my baseball team has just been complete shit this year for fantasy because they keep getting injured. Tommy John left and right, dealing it out. Anyways, back to wrestling. So, but he overcame and he was fine after a while. And when you look at that, he could iron it out, finally got a Super Bowl in LA, whatever. He was fine. I think for Liv, it kind of reached that point where she was okay. She could do this for a year or two, no injuries, nothing was coming up significant. I think it was just all being the workhorse of a division. It does catch up to you. Yeah. It does catch up to you at some point. And I think, unfortunately, it caught up to her Monday with just a simple spot going to the ground, basically.
And that sucks. It does suck. Yeah. Besides her title run and what she had going, like it essentially blows up a pay-per-view. Because I wonder, because this happened after, is Bailey and Bex maybe now the number 1 match on that? Because I know we're a little bit away from it, but Nikki had something built with her. Are we gonna, if we get Nikki against Raquel, and no disrespect, I mean, to Raquel, it's not the same match.
No, 100%. It's not the same match. I don't even think you can go Nikki Raquel in that regard. I think you have to find the next best option with building in something. And I hate to say it, Bailey and Bex are in their own category fighting. It might be like Nikki and Tiffy or Nikki and Charlotte at this point. Like we're revisiting that. Like there's no other options here.
Yeah. And that sucks.
Yeah.
It really does suck. I was hoping they were going to get Brie over the next couple of weeks, but I think there's going to be a pause on all of this, probably for a week or two before we get the build-up of what it is. What's your number 2? Sorry. My number 1 was long.
Well, we had a good conversation. It always goes long for us because we always talk about it. My number 2, I'll stick with the women of WWE. Hey, Asuka's back. Original theme. Everything's doing good. She won the Fatal 4-Way match. I'm liking this version of Asuka. I'm a big Asuka fan, so this was especially satisfying seeing her back, wrestling, being back to the old theme and everything like that. I really hope she gets into she's fighting for it all at that point for the queen, becomes the queen of the ring, basically. That's what I'm hoping.
I think she'll be in the finals.
Yeah.
The spot for this is the winner's already out there. So she gets a title shot.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's Jade. So we get Jade Naomi at some point.
Yeah, I know, but still, I really want Asuka to take it. But I don't disagree with you. We know who the winner is. We know who it is. We know it's going to be a quick reign probably because of Naomi, but
right.
But that also means we'd probably lose both Money in the Bank briefcases early on again.
Yeah, and as much as I bitch of holding it for like 10 months is too long for me. Like, I don't want them that long, but I don't want them cashed in the night of or the next night. Why can't we get a random 3-month hold?
Yeah.
And not with a ton of different, like, trying to cash in every other week type of deal teasers.
Yeah.
Just do the Money in the Bank. You win it, and you're just carrying it. You don't have to cash it in until the real moment that you feel it, and you're like, all right, let's fucking go and do it.
I agree. I mean, Tiffy's was perfect in that regard. It was a random ass SmackDown. It wasn't like Rumble lead in or Rumble after Rumble or WrestleMania. It was perfect. I think sometimes WWE tries to capture the moments that they had, like the Heist of the Century, like Dolph Ziggler the night after WrestleMania. They're trying to capture that with these cash-ins the night of or the night after, where they're losing the perspective of why they're special.
Yeah. Like 100%. 100%. Let them hold it for a little bit. Like Carmella's, as much as I love Mella, it was a little long. There was a lot of running around with her and R-Truth.
Yeah.
But it might have been, if it wasn't as hokey, it might have been the perfect time when she did it. I truly think that you brought both of them up. That Seth everybody has to agree that Seth is the greatest.
Yep, 100%.
And for the women, I would think Tiffy's is right now. I mean, the instant ones are instant gratification. We know who won it that night. We will know who lost it that night. Then we kind of forget they really had that moniker of Woman in the Bank, Money in the Bank. You got electricity! Boom!
That'll take a minute for the internet to get on, but go ahead.
So, yeah, all that. It was like a light. It really was like a beacon popping up.
It just came out.
So that's well before 10 o'clock. It's only...
I know.
So you were out for about an hour?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, not too bad. But go on. So
No.
off of that,
Show derailed once more because you have electricity. You're out of the Amish household.
I'm out of the, you actually can see me now. Well, we'll continue down this path. I got to wait for the internet to connect anyway. So,
Yeah.
but to your point, yeah, absolutely. There's some that were spot on and great, and then some that were just meh. Nikki ASH was probably one that was meh.
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 Right. That was
That
your
was my number two.
Okay. I'll go back to AEW then. And this is where I want to bitch. Listen, I understand you were in Mexico City and you were doing everything. But oh my God, in 2 matches you had fucking 24 people. And then there was a 4-man match, then there was another tag match, and then you had, and I don't know, this is not the right count. You know how we fabricate stuff every once in a while. There was 50 fucking people on one card.
Yeah.
Jenks. And I completely understand you were showcasing everybody. And I'm not knocking the card. The card was good. It held my attention for 3/4 of the time. I liked it. The matches were crisp. I can't stand. Remember back in the day, Jenks, we were little guys. It was unbelievable when Survivor Series first came out. Oh my God, 5 people on one side? It's a 10-man match. Oh my God. This is a 14-man fucking match. Did you leave? You left. So that's unbelievable. Jenks just decided to leave out of nowhere. So I will continue to go on with this until Jenks comes back, and he's back that fast. But 10-man match was cool because then there was elimination and there's this, there was that. Dude, 14 fucking people, and they were all in the ring at one time. I thought hey, we're just going to turn this into a Royal Rumble or whatever the hell they call it, Casino Battle Royal or whatever.
There we go. Yeah.
This is just way too much. It was way too busy for 48-year-old Mark.
Oh, 100%. I get you want to showcase all the talent, but it doesn't need to be a free-for-all that happens on one show, and you're putting, to your point, 20 fucking people on one card in one show. There's just no reason for that.
And if you would have, you still could have done this with that many people, Jenks. There's no reason that 14-man match had to go 28.5 minutes.
No, God, no.
That was dreadful. It was so long to start everything.
It made absolutely no sense to go that long with that particular match. There was so many other opportunities. I think there was other opportunities on the show to showcase. Like the CMLL title match with Sasha, and I can't remember who else was on who the CMLL champion was. That could have gone 28 minutes. That probably should have been gone 28 minutes.
Right.
Instead of that. So I don't know what they were thinking with this whatsoever. Zuxi, yeah. That's right. I don't know what they were thinking, saying, oh, hey, let's add an 8-man tag. That means absolute dog shit.
Right.
As 28 minutes. That made absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah. I understand. You needed to get Okada and, all of the people in. So you get the Mexico buys as well. But separate them, do the matches. On the sidebar, though, I really can't wait until Omega Okada. I didn't watch it 7 years ago when it happened. Yeah. I've since watched it probably like 2.5, 3 years ago. This is both of their swan songs. Mm-hmm. I'm calling it. We said it earlier. You said it as well, that this is probably Omega's ride into the sunset with his diverticulitis and everything. And I'll still say Okada's not been Okada in AEW.
No. Okada's having a friend time at this point.
He is. But I think they're going to let it go. They're going to let it go and give us everything we want.
100%. This is going to be in the contention for match of the year, just
Oh,
because
without a doubt.
this is their last hurrah. They may fight past this match, but this is the one that they're going to give so much effort into that they basically die on the sword. And if it's Kenny's last match, he's going to die on the sword of, hey, I went out with my greatest opponent at the best possible time I could.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Jenks, now that you got your shit back, do you want to switch to computer from your phone? Is that what we...
Yeah, we can do that. The internet is back up and running, so we can definitely do that. And I can charge my phone. That's now at like 18%. So we're good.
Okay, so we'll take a hot second break. Listen to probably somebody's going to tell you how great Can Crushers is back. We'll come back after that, and then we will dive back into more shit against the wall here on Can Crushers.
Hey, this is J-A-C, and crack you up a cold one. Sit down on your couch and listen to Can Crushers right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. No outages, so I am back on the computer. The phone is charging and now back at 21%, so we're good there.
So we can really turn the page on outages. And now you're drinking a bottle of champagne?
It's a Sparkle Teeny that was in the fridge that needed to be gotten rid of, so
okay.
I had to finish it off. Really good, though.
Again, you don't know what to expect on Can Crushers week after week. We had nothing planned, and then Jenks just derailed it himself. And we had nothing planned.
I didn't even know what I had. I wasn't even planning this. So, and I'm now 3 beers and a Sparkle Teeny deep, so we're feeling really good right now.
You are fucking kicking my ass tonight, which is...
Shit's going down. Here's the thing.
Which is not normal.
No, it's not.
Out of the ordinary.
It is. Usually I have the 3 beers during the podcast, and that's it. You're usually ahead of me by 1, 2, 8, because you get out earlier in the day, so you can just go for it. But
I normally don't. I just...
Yeah.
This is number 3. I went back to the American Ale. Oh, shit.
Chug it.
They did it last week, too, remember?
What is going on with that? Is it just the way it's packaged or what?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. So I have the Sparkle Teeny. There's another beer in this bag. I think I'm just trying to cycle through the old beer so I can get to the lemon shandy next week, basically. That might be what's going on.
It's watching him. This is why we can't put video on YouTube, by the way, folks.
That's exactly why.
And nor will we ever. Just look at our picture. You love the picture. Imagine what we're doing. That's enough for you. It really should be.
All right, Sparkle Teeny's gone.
So I'll move along with the next topic as he dives into this.
What do you got?
I'm going to go to Mercedes and Zeus's, essentially.
Okay, good.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other, maybe. Like, I like the match, but I don't know who Zeus's clearly just won it from to lose it to Mercedes. Get ready for hate. But this isn't the woman that you showcased for CMLL. She looked like she was 2 years into an indie contract. Mercedes just outworked the fuck out of her.
She was set up for failure with this.
Clear.
Yeah. And I think they had a match last year.
That's what they said on the broadcast.
Yeah, that's what they said. I feel like it was better last year than it was this year because this was not Mercedes work. The circles around her, and it may be because Zeus's was like, if I got to drop this, then I'm not fucking trying at this point because it was not good.
It wasn't. And listen, we've shit on Mercedes for a lot of things. Never talent in the ring. I don't know. There was a couple times I thought she was getting annoyed with what was going on. Like, and then that finish, it was just a reversal and then 1, 2, 3 match over. See you later. Goodbye. Like, it wasn't anything of. And I will always say Sasha. So it was none of Sasha's moves that won the match. It was just anything can happen anytime in the match, which is good. We all like surprises, but when you're talking Mercedes and the 97,000 belts that she has, you kind of make it a little bit bigger. It didn't. Good. She's a CMLL champion now. I think the writing's on the wall for All In now, too.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like if you're going down this path to change the title or switch the title, do it in a squash. Don't just let this be a fucking, oh, hey, we're going to fight. Here we go. Let me sandbag you. Let me not do anything worthwhile. Just end it quick, like 30 seconds. This was drawn out.
Let her hit a meteor off the top rope, and then that catches her off guard. Switch her over to the bank statement.
Bank statement, and be done with it. Moneymaker. Hit the moneymaker and just pin her 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It was clear that not everyone agreed with the decision that was going on here.
Yeah.
I don't agree with giving Mercedes another fucking title, but obviously they're putting her over as the insurmountable mountain that Tony's going to have to face at All In.
I'll tell you, though, she is the longest holder of the Owen Championship since it's been in its thing. Britt, I think, had it for 35. I love Britt Baker. Everybody knows that. She held it the night that she won it, and I have never seen Britt carry it again.
Yeah.
Willow might have had it a week or two last year. At least Sasha carries it around, right?
100%.
You have water.
It's one of her prep. I had to drink the water. This after Sparkletini, a 2X miss kind of tastes like cough syrup. So I need to cleanse the palate before I go back to that.
You need some cheese. Cheese also helps.
Yeah, we'll get there at some point, but we got a podcast to do. We got to persevere. So,
yeah.
Did you like the streamers?
No.
Yeah.
They were only there for Monet to get wrapped up in.
Yeah.
And could get attacked by Tony.
100%.
That's it.
Yeah. There's no value to those.
Why was CMLL ready to celebrate a new champion when they're on CMLL's turf?
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand them. Like, if Zeus would have won and you did that, she defended the title against one of the greatest wrestlers out there, women wrestlers out there in Monet. Cool. You do that and you celebrate it. You don't pop them off for somebody that's not in CMLL.
Yeah. 100%. There's a history and a lineage to that. You're not going to pop them off just because somebody wins the title. It should be dealing with the lineage that you have, the Lucha Libre lineage. You stick with that. You stick with that history. You stick with that tradition. Giving it for Monet was just, I think, a bit excessive and unnecessary.
Yeah.
I'm
still excited for her and Tony. I think it's, if they let them wrestle, and I love the whole storyline involved.
Yeah.
Trust me, this whole thing, Okada Omega in this match of Tony and Mercedes, here's my check.
Yeah.
I'm buying All In.
Right.
And there's more to come, and which we'll be excited about. But I'm excited about it because so much. It didn't need. I don't think it needed anything that happened between Tony and Mercedes during this.
Yeah. I agree. Although I will say this, I didn't know it needed, but it did need Tony Storm dressed as Carmen Sandiego because that popped me more than anything for this segment. I wanted to say that so, but I've been waiting 2 days to say that. Tony Storm coming out as Carmen Sandiego, chef's kiss. At that
Anybody that's 20 years younger than us, look up where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. Jenks and I have roughly a 10-year difference in age. It was definitely prevalent when you were younger.
Right. 100%. Yeah.
But I watched it.
Yeah. It's a great show. There was a board game. I had the board game. It was amazing.
I think there was a Nintendo game
there was a computer game.
Super Nintendo or whatever.
It was something. There was definitely a video game of sorts out there for Carmen Sandiego.
Did you have it?
I think I had the computer version of the game because there was a computer game. I know I had the board game. And
was it on a floppy disk, like a real floppy, not the small hard floppy?
I think it was a CD. I think it was like late '90s, so it was definitely a CD format. Yeah.
Did you? You're old school. Did you play any computer games on the floppy, like the real 4x4 floppy?
Yes.
Besides Oregon Trail.
Yes. Okay. Now, wait a minute. So my family, we were poor growing up. So we'd get whatever computer we could get a hold of. My father got a hold of like some 1980s DOS, very much old school, where you had to type in the commands and everything. The games we had on that were on floppies, went into the computer, and one was a 3-point game or a basketball game that you just had these little ass fucking figures. That was from the 1980s.
It was
Pixels.
It was a great.
And it was Larry Bird. It was fun, and you knew how to spam the hell out of the 3-point corner shot because it could not. It glitched there, and you wouldn't miss. So
double dribble, by the way, if anybody ever plays double dribble.
I couldn't think of the name. Thank you. Double dribble. That game, amazing. But yes, I did play on floppy disks for a long period of time because my family was behind in generations when upgrading in computers.
As were we. Like, there's so many inappropriate games that I played on floppy disks at not our house. We didn't have a computer until in this household. We didn't have a computer until I was a freshman in college. There wasn't a computer in this house. But other people that had a computer, they'd be like, oh, yeah, Mark loves video games. He's been playing since Atari and Pong and all that. Come over, we have this computer game. And computer, still back then, was a little bit more than what a system was, right? There was a little bit. Now PlayStation 5 blows everything out of the water. Yeah. So I would go play computer games at Bob Smith's house, and I'm like, oh, my God. He's like, do you want to play Leisure Suit Larry? And look up that if you don't know what that is. Jenks does already, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as a child, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. What do I have to do? They're like, you have to hook up with that hooker upstairs. Oh, wait a minute. Mom's pulling the fucking disc out as it's running. But the graphics were great. They were so much better. And I'm like, oh, man, we need a computer. And that's not happening in your house because I'd go down to the dollar store and buy Leisure Suit Larry because in that day and time, you didn't need to be 21 or 18. You could just walk in with $5 and say, here, I want Leisure Suit Larry. I was like, cool, here you go, kid. Your fucking parents are awesome. That's why we didn't get a computer until I could get a computer in this house. Wrestling podcast, though, Jenks.
Are we? Okay.
Not today. That's for sure.
We've had a lot going on. I think it's my turn, right? We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Saturday night main event.
That's where I was going anyway. So
yeah, Goldberg and Gunther. Are they going to put the title on Goldberg?
No possible way, right?
I don't know.
That's the question. Why are we doing this? Again, wait, these are all, we will wrap back around to why are we doing this? Thank God it's not a pay-per-view. But this Saturday night's main event that they're booking for that time is bigger than the pay-per-view that they're booking at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So pay attention to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's how after years, I guess I'm going to steal, because I did listen to a little Busted Open this week. I'm going to steal LaGreca's stuff and ask us as Can't Crusher Nation. I'll ask you, how the fuck does this guy come rolling in after years off? Look at his track record in the last couple matches that he has, because they were fighting over a hot dog in Atlanta 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
How's he come in and get a title shot when Jay has not got his return? Cody's Cody.
Mm-hmm.
You could name a litany of others. I would rather have our truth, Ron Killings, get Gunther right now. And I know he's busy with his homeboy John, but like, how this means there's no logic with WWE right now just letting this Hall of Famer, is that why he's getting the shot? Just because he's a Hall of Famer and he says, who's next? You're next. Strike me dead right now. So Bruno Sammartino could walk out of the grave right now and call out any champion and get a title shot.
Theoretically, yes.
Is the way that WWE is running it.
Yeah. They're running it like they used to run it.
It's going there again.
Yeah. As long as you have a big name and people are going to tune in, whether we like it or not, because it's Goldberg.
Right.
So it's going to draw ratings to Saturday night. It's going to draw ratings to NBC. They're going to book the shit out of that because they know they can sell it. It may be 3 minutes in length, but they know they can sell the shit out of it. And I looked, somebody pulled the records. It was on Twitter, I think, the other day. Somebody pulled how long Goldberg's matches have been, and it dated it back to when he faced Lesnar. I think the longest match was 11 minutes. It probably averaged 4 minutes, 3 minutes
of wrestling
time. That's it. This is literally a chop, spear, jackhammer, maybe T-Rex dropkick, powerbomb, game over type situation.
We're going to make this a longer episode than what we thought. So Gunther wins, which I clearly, in my mind of minds, I think he retains.
He has to.
He's got a litany of people. He can revisit Jay. He can revisit Seth that he called out. He can revisit. There's a ton of people, but we don't need to name everywhere Gunther can go. Right?
Yep.
We're on that page. Goldberg wins. Where in the fuck are we going?
The only place we can go is a rematch with Gunther at SummerSlam.
So it can't be a main event match at SummerSlam.
No. It's going to be a mid-card match 2 match because it's not even a opener.
No.
It's a bathroom break, a very shortened bathroom break match.
So you're giving one, which is a huge hurt, I think, to Gunther,
Yep.
a loss against this guy, a horrible match that we'll revisit at SummerSlam, hopefully night 1, because don't forget SummerSlam's 2 nights this year.
Yeah.
Just to get him a 3rd title?
I guess. Quantity over quality.
But wasn't 666 days to be exact, what we all thought? And wait, we still forget about the reign might not have been as long for his UK championship, but the litany of names made that even better when he was Walter. And it was so awesome.
Yeah.
Now this guy who you're building up, and clearly he's going to be a long-term workhorse for WWE. You're losing to Goldberg just to beat him 2 months down the line. And now Goldberg's fucking champion in 2025 so he can stroke his own ego because he never had his retirement run.
Yeah.
Get ready, because this is what I've been waiting for all week long. Because he just wants Dana's dick in his mouth. It's all he wants because he never made MMA. That's Goldberg. And I'm sorry I said it that way, but that's... What a piece of shit. Dude, you're done. You were done when you lost to Nash and all. Like, your WCW run, if you would have played your card right, you had a shit ton of money. I don't know what you did with your money. Your WWE run wasn't great.
His WWE run wasn't great. He probably complains it was plagued with politics and all of that bullshit. But he had a swan song in WWE. It was probably soured in his mind, A, by the politics, but B, by the fans booing him out of Madison Square Garden with Brock Lesnar because they were both leaving, which whatever. You guys left. Then you come back in 2016 because you need to have that ego stroke and you need to go out on the right terms. But you know what you do? Instead of going out on the right terms and going out beating Lesnar and then giving the title back to Lesnar and just walking away, you hang around for 17 more years. Hope for the best and try to get cheap wins wherever you can.
Knock yourself out
and try to be bigger than life to impress your son at this point. Because that's truly what it was for from 2016 on. To impress your son and show him what you did, which was absolutely nothing.
Well, now his daughter is amazing. And I'm not knocking the daughter. His daughter's amazing doing what she's doing in college. She's an NCAA champion. You know, everything that she's doing. Is this run for her then?
I don't know. I honestly think this is just for Goldberg's own ego at this point.
I do too. Nobody, I can't say nobody wants it because God forbid people are chanting Goldberg. It wasn't piped in there because I watched. There was real people chanting Goldberg, and I'm like, this doesn't put an ass in a seat for me.
No, it doesn't. It puts an ass in the seat for somebody, not for me.
So there's a couple bucks there.
Yeah, there's bucks to be made, but this is also probably why it's on Saturday night's main event versus an actual pay-per-view. And hopefully it dies at Saturday night's main event.
Well, I completely agree. But isn't this match to be that guy isn't this match actually made more for Saudi? But
100%.
since they put the caveat on the king and queen of the ring, that's where that champion, are they biting themselves in the ass now because of what they said last year? That's where you get your title shot now.
Yeah, I'm going to go push a little bit back on that and say, but this is something we've all been clamoring for. We wanted the king and the queen tournaments back, and we wanted it to mean something. This is how it means something, and we knew that. So Saudi just happens to be the benefactor from that because, well, it's in the summer, and it gives them not the greatest Royal Rumble of all time, but it gives them something to celebrate or cheer for.
So you're saying, I'm putting words in your mouth so you can punch me through the computer. It's going to be Goldberg against Jay. It's Saudi.
No.
Wouldn't it be?
If he's not in the tournament. Goldberg's not in the tournament.
Yeah, but if he wins it's Saturday night's main event, doesn't he have to defend it?
Not at Saudi. Saudi's before Saturday night's main event. Saudi's next weekend.
Shit, that's right. See?
Yeah.
Date.
So, but theoretically, to your point, though, if Goldberg wins at Saturday night's main event, it's Jay versus Goldberg at SummerSlam.
Oh, boy.
Write it down now.
I can't wait to watch that.
What do you mean? Both are extravagant wrestlers.
I'm not even knocking your homeboy, your yeet classes, brother. But
it'll be 4 minutes, and I feel like it'll be 5 super kicks versus 5 spears, and we hope for the best.
Yeah. So what are we selling at Summer? This isn't even a question I had down. What are we selling at SummerSlam for 2 nights now? If we're pigeonholing us down this fucking path.
I think they're selling flaming bags of shit at this point.
Yeah. Do you think? Well, throw out everything that was on TV the rest of the week. Here's my next question then, Jenks.
Shoot.
WWE have way too much going on right now, and that just came to me right now because you have Gunther and Goldberg at Saturday night's main event. I know they said next week's going to be Bayley, Becky, and Columbus. Something's going to happen that's going to be revisited on Saturday night's main event, I would imagine. Lyra looks pretty pissed off. It's probably going to be a triple threat match.
Right.
Which leads exactly like you said, essentially back to SummerSlam of something. They have way too much going on that they're essentially giving matches away now. Becky Bayley should be. We could sell this until SummerSlam because I said I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
And then Alda says, hey, we're going to do it next week. Why are we doing this next week? They could shit on each other for another 4 months before I see the match because they both can carry a promo.
Yeah.
And I would be fine with it. Let them cross paths. Let Bayley, she just returned from injury to get to Becky. Let her have to fight Lyra. And Becky gets involved. Like, we know the end game is going to be Becky Bayley. Awesome. I'm all in on that.
Yeah.
You're giving it to us without anything happening.
Right. I think, to your point, yes, they have too much going on. But is that a bad thing? Depends on how they write it and how they progress the stories. To your point, Becky, Bayley, and Columbus next weekend, it's probably going to be Bayley gets attacked again and can't wrestle. Because I feel like we have to come back around to Lyra, Becky one more time before we get Bayley, Becky,
You
to
would
close
think.
this out. But at the end of the day, maybe the long-term goal is Bayley Lyra again. And they just want to use Becky as the bridge to get him to that point. But again, that plays into your theory of there's too much shit going on because they're convoluting that storyline to add a third person into it when you're convoluting everything else under the goddamn sun to force people into it. I think, to your point about there's too much going on, we look at the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments right now. Instead of having tournament matches to come in, they decided to have fatal 4-ways to enter and get into the semifinals. If that doesn't, I hate too. If that doesn't shout, there's too much shit going on that we don't have time to do 2 matches to get to a quarterfinal, to get to the semifinals, to get those 3 matches, then nothing does. That screams that we don't have enough time in our days, even though we have a 3-hour show on SmackDown for now.
Yeah, that's leaving again.
And an open-ended time contract with Netflix that could go as long as 4 or 5 hours, like they've said. We don't have the time to do that. Really speaks volumes that you're probably overbooking or you're so far into the weeds with what you're booking, you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because when we talk about Tony Khan and his 25 matches on a pay-per-view, some of them are rushed, yet some of them are really thought out and fleshed out.
Yeah.
And yet we shit on him because he has 14, 15 card match pay-per-views.
But at the end of the day, it all makes sense.
Right. They're all
WWE lovers are now yelling at us.
100%. The matches, even if some of them are thrown on the card at the last minute, make sense because the threads were there.
Yeah.
WWE is throwing shit at a wall.
Like we are in the podcast.
Well, yeah. Because they have the threads kind of forming, but they're not really pulling on them because they don't know how to handle all of these threads all at once. Type of thing.
So the old saying of too many chiefs, not enough followers, however that saying goes, is there too many people pulling on the threads? We always shit on Tony saying, man, he needs a writer. Until he pulls off, and I'm going to say this, I would imagine my pay-per-view of the year is going to be All In.
Right.
It's already set up with the 2 matches I keep bashing people in the face with. And you can throw in all the other stuff that's just sprinkled right now.
Yep.
The sprinkling, there's probably be a sprinkling match over like, oh man, we didn't think that Adam Cole against, was going to be that great of a match. We know Adam Cole's amazing.
Right.
We know this person's amazing, but they've looked at each other the wrong way. Holy shit, they brought everything. That's in the talks of something.
Yeah.
Well, that makes that pay-per-view so much better, yada, yada, yada. WWE don't. Too many people are like, well, I want, no disrespect, I want Jade to do this on this night, this night, this night. Well, don't forget, Bianca's got to do this before she can get the Jade to get to this, because we're not tying up stuff. And WWE never truly ties up stuff.
Yeah. Because they want the cash cow in the future. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Is that the difference between the 2 companies? WWE books at the individual level when AEW books at the storyline match level for both individuals. So, example, WWE has a plan for Jade, but necessarily they don't have a plan for how Jade has storylines in between Jade getting into the company, becoming a champion. AEW sits there and has books MJF versus Hangman Adam Page for 5 years, basically, because they've been kind of butting heads. But when they came to blows at Revolution this year, they looked at each other the wrong way for 3 weeks, kept interrupting each other. Then they had their blow up. And then you just never knew what was going to happen.
But it's always in the back of your mind.
100%.
Where
WWE,
once Jade wins this championship from Naomi, where does she go now?
yeah.
Well, we do know Bianca's on the forefront at some point.
Right.
So we do know that. But at Mania, when that's over, what's written from Jade then?
Yeah.
Or is Jade because Bianca gets rid of her?
Right.
And then Jade falls.
That's exactly it. WWE's planning for 5 to 6 main players, and then everything else fills in. AEW seemingly is booking matches.
Yet, and I would imagine you can go back a year, 6 months, couple weeks, that we always say the great stories come out of WWE because we love the bloodline story that is missing right now. Don't get me wrong, the John Cena story is amazing because of John Cena. They book the stories. AEW gives us the wrestling. Did it change? We don't know. Because, don't get me wrong, if I'm grading off of Mexico Grand Slam and Raw and SmackDown this week, there's a lot of great wrestling in AEW and WWE this week.
Yeah.
I like some of this stuff. I usually like the storylines. Vice versa. We're getting storylines from AEW now. And the wrestling was like, man, I can't wait till we get Tony Mercedes. Because the storyline, wait, Tony's writing a storyline? Did it switch, Jenks? I don't know.
Well, you know what? To that point, it may have unintentionally, because AEW probably is like, okay, well, we have to sell this pay-per-view so maybe the next 2 weeks we're going storyline heavy. We're doing the Mexico shows. We have to highlight all of CMLL. Let's get them in there. Let's get them in there. Let's get them in there. But then we got to highlight our storylines. But for WWE, it's like, well, we don't have anything really. Night of Champions is more or less matches. Right. Saturday night's main event's Goldberg Gunther. So we're kind of just treading water until SummerSlam. So we have to.
Well, we don't have anything set up for SummerSlam yet.
Well, we don't. That's what these are doing, but they have to do something in between. And, oh, hey, lo and behold, we're actually based off of professional wrestling. So maybe we should have a wrestling match or two to kind of showcase that. I think that's kind of where they're playing in, is unintentionally they back themselves into a corner of, we don't have anything right now. Besides the point we have this PLE that's coming up that nobody fucking cares about.
Nobody's going to watch it.
Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to watch it live.
Yeah.
So we're just going to get it there. Wrestle. Do that. You people know how to do this.
You should. Right?
You had some talent we brought you here, so let's showcase it.
Yeah. I might be done. Honestly. I think we bitched. And I mean,
we bitched a little bit there. No, I'm good right there.
It wasn't a big week.
This was definitely the week of, we got to get to the next show. We have to get to the week of.
Yeah. We'll be able to give you matches, and we're talking WWE. We'll be able to give you matches week of for Saturday night's main event, week of for da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
We'll get there. They're just time filler matches because you're getting Becky Bailey, you're getting Gunther Goldberg. Settle down. That's all you should care about next week.
Exactly.
Is those two matches.
You have
if we throw in the Street Profits against whomever, That's your bonus.
You'll like it, and you'll deal with it.
Right. In AEW, it clearly was. No disrespect. I liked AEW this week. We need to stop. I will bitch about one thing again on AEW. MJF, every time he goes to a foreign country, doesn't have to be Mr. America. The first time, yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit him now being with the Hurt Syndicate that he was Mr. America.
It does not, for reasons outside of wrestling. Logically.
Right.
100%. But it's I don't want to call it lazy. It's the easy way to get that heat, that cheap heat, if you will.
Yeah. And they should have put subtitles for Sin Cara's music. I know
that takes away from the music. You got to just embrace the culture and learn Spanish.
Martinez, you have to learn Spanish.
Yeah, I never thought I'd have to say that to you.
Do you have anything else from? Well, you got lighting back, so
I got lighting back, so I'm back in the 21st century. But no, I got nothing else.
I want to go shoot beavers anyway, so we're gonna.
One way or another, you're gonna shoot a beaver this weekend. So good luck to you, sir.
What do you have going on this week, Bubs?
This week, probably some more educational, professional development happening this week from the looks of things. Wish me luck, taking the test, hoping for the best on that. But yeah, that's about it. What about you?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Really nothing. On the forefront, nothing. The pool's getting ripped apart this week. So that's a shit show within itself at work. We don't have a secretary this week as she's heading to Europe with essentially the French class. So, which pseudo makes me a lot of the secretarial stuff around the office for random things. Like I said, I'm bailing on Friday, so good luck with everybody at work on Friday. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing planned because I couldn't plan anything. Makes sense?
Fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of wasn't allowed to because we have to really fly by the seat of our pants this week at work. In personal life, it's up, it's down, it's in, it's out, it's all over the place, and it's really been fun.
Oh, yeah, I believe it. That's good.
So
you needed some fun.
No sports going on. No sports whatsoever. I handed over. I had to bring back the radio stuff this week to get it properly ready for football. They're still begging me, "You coming back for football?" I'm like, man, I don't know. Friday nights are weaning even more and more, even for random other things. So we'll have to discuss that. And Jenks might not like that idea as well either. So
we'll have the conversation.
We'll see where that goes as long as whatever happens. But yeah, short show. Probably not as short as we think because this recording part is about 45 minutes right now. So
we got the electricity back, so we're fine.
That's number one.
Yeah.
That's number one. So you can go hang out with your wife and get patted on the back for that amazing lemon pepper pork pot. No, not
loin.
Pork, loin.
Close. Yeah, butt, loin, whatever. It's pork.
That you struggled making all day.
It hurt. It just rubbing that seasoning into the meat, making sure that, it came out of the package from Aldi's that it was marinating in was a struggle.
Probably.
Months. Yeah. Hey, it was still succulent.
Hey, Jenks drank more than me on this episode, so that's probably number one.
Quick heads up to anybody out there. Don't drink Sparkle Teeny and then drink a 2X Miss because it tastes like pine needles after that. And it's not, it tastes like pine needles and medicine. So, yeah, I can't. This bottle's not going to be drank tonight. Not good.
Everything you know is in the show notes for the WWE affiliate code and
Yes.
our merch. I did get late update. I did get things were accepted. So that means probably a couple of weeks you'll get our new logo and hoodies and stuff. So
embrace it.
Crowdmade's a little slow.
It happens.
They're like us.
Hey, as long as it came up. Hey, speaking of slow and us, finally was able to get the Can Crushers University up and running on NCAA football, like a month out from the new college football. So if you have 25, enjoy the next month with Can Crushers University out there. Look it up. If you can't find it, you can look up Buccaneer 2010. It should be under that. You'll be able to pull it in. But yeah.
Did you pull the trigger yet?
No, I didn't pull the trigger yet.
I didn't either. I'm talking to people. We have a month.
We have a month, but see, here's the thing. I got Can Crushers finally working, and now it's like the game's brand new again. And I started my season, and I'm like, okay, here's Dynasty. Let's go. Currently whipping Notre Dame's ass. Had to stop for the podcast and power outages and that to get to the podcast. But hey, pick it up afterwards.
You're going to restart that game, and Notre Dame's going to kick your ass.
I'm going to have to. Yeah, probably. Notre Dame's my bitter rival on this game.
Well, I'm going beaver hunting. So remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage can not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.
Whoop, whoop.